to this
Hello.
week's edition of Sips and Spiders with Sebastian and Solange.
Hello, hello.
How are you doing
I'm
today, Sebastian?
very excited to actually I have two beverages that I'm switching
Ooh,
between.
nice. What are they?
Coconut water, and then when I run out of that regular water. It's not
Oh,
very exciting.
okay. Well, as you know, I've been doing water for some of these past broadcasts, but today it's a little more exciting in celebration of watching Into the Spider-Verse.
Finally.
The other day, finally, as was the homework from last month's episode.
Yep.
Uh, I'm drinking a Into the Spider-Verse inspired drink made by Ruman that's called the Radioactive Spider. So I don't really
Perfect.
know what's in it, but maybe I'll take a taste and guess, and then he can tell me if I'm right or wrong. So
Okay.
here we go. I'm guessing it's grenadine on the top, not grenadine on the top.
Hopefully no real spiders.
Yes. No. Hopefully, no spiders were harmed in the making of the radioactive spider. Um, I don't even know what's in it. So funny. Ah, what is this? Just will you come tell us as the maker of the drink, Milan?
Guest star,
It tastes
please.
good. It tastes great.
I kind of made it up.
Just come into the frame so
I
there's a
guess.
body to your voice. Is Ramon, the maker of my sip for tonight?
I think I put in.
You think you put it?
You think? Okay, so this is already a mystery.
Oh, it was lemon radler, passion fruit
Oh.
liqueur, some vodka, and then I put a little bit of red wine on top. That's the color.
Ah,
Yeah.
nice. Very. What a
I
mix.
didn't
What a
expect the red
mix.
wine.
Yeah, or just such a random mix of things. But it does taste good. Yeah. So cheers, everybody. Yeah. Hi, welcome guys to the broadcast. Hello, Zach and David and Maron
And other David.
and David Howden. Yes, if I drink it all, I will get superpowers, hopefully. So cheers.
The dream of every arachnologist, I think, is to eventually, in some way, get the Spider-Man superpower. So we're just trying a bunch of different things. One of them will
Totally.
work eventually, maybe.
Totally. Yeah. Exactly. Just biding our time, studying them in the meantime, and hoping we get into the right spot where the magic happens. Zach is suggesting to add a dash of soil from the garden. Nice.
Oh
A little
gosh.
extra flavor and minerals.
There will be minerals. If you get some bugs in there, it'll have protein.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of animals eat the soil and mud and stuff like
Yeah.
that to get minerals, and even people for that matter. So it's not totally unheard of. Hello, Rita.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
Yeah. And feel free, guys, to put what you're drinking in the chat. Hi, Michelle. Yes, Spider-Man juice. There is a fly on top, actually. So there we go.
Okay, so
More
this is a
appropriate.
spider-approved beverage.
Exactly. It's what a spider would drink. There's a fruit fly on the top, on the ice. Probably, which on the ice is probably keeping it nice and fresh, which is how a spider would want it.
Perfect.
So I'm going to remove it for now.
And it makes sense because as we talked about, I think in one of the earlier episodes, spiders can only drink. They cannot actually eat. And there goes my internet being wonky. Is it bad on your end too?
We can hear you just fine. A little pixely, but that's what
Let
happens
me
in Into the Spider-Verse. This is just a sign that Sebastian already is Spider-Man from another dimension. And we need to get him back to where he came from before we lose him completely. Any cicadas, Issa, says Rita.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I'm back. Maybe it'll be better now. Maybe it won't. I don't know.
Yeah. Did you hear my accusation that I made?
I did not.
About you? My accusation is that you are actually one of the Spider-Men from a different world, and you just went distorted and out of shape because we have to get you back to your dimension.
Exactly. See, now I know that you did the homework.
Yep. Yeah. Coffee all day. Cheers. Hopefully doesn't keep you up at night. But yeah. Have you seen Into the Spider-Verse, Michelle? That was the homework.
I'm curious how many of the people watching have seen Into the Spider-Verse. / did you watch it specifically because we told you to?
Yeah. And David says, yes, I've seen it. I watched it specifically because you told me to, Sebastian. I also went in without really knowing anything about it, except that it was like a cartoon Spider-Man related show. So it was
Yeah.
pretty cool to go in just like not knowing what was
Yeah.
happening. So it was good. Yeah, it was fun. I didn't know that there'd be like I guess like just from seeing like the photos or knowing that it's like
Mm-hmm.
a spider universe sort of thing, I was like maybe like everybody are Spider-Man people or like something like that. Like you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But then that wasn't what it was. But
No.
yeah.
I I don't remember how much I knew going in. I think I knew like because I watched it when it came out in theaters. And I just kind of knew the basics, and I had just seen some of the trailers with the animation, and like I was like, okay, I got to see what this is because
Mhm.
the animation in that movie is really stylish and
Yeah.
beautiful, and like
Yeah.
I cannot stop thinking about it. I want
I'll throw
everything to look like that.
I'll throw up one of the screenshots that I took. Well, I'll throw up the cover photo here. So people can see exactly what we're talking about. There's this one, but then there's also the one where you can see their
Oh, alt cover.
yeah, I don't know which one's the main one. Oh, maybe the top one is the main
It
one.
might be like different editions. I know I have it on Blu-ray, but I don't remember what the cover on mine is. They had a
Oh,
lot of different versions of stuff just because like you got a lot of different characters to play with.
yeah, which is so fun. Yeah, and kind of going off of what Sebastian said, it was unlike other animations that I've seen, in that the action was just so dynamic and fast, but also it
Hmm.
wasn't overwhelming. Like somehow they were able to make a lot of movement happen in a way that isn't that's
Yeah.
still understandable to the human brain, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the action sequences, I think because of like they're going for like a comic effect where like you really like
Uh,
show the impact of like a move or
oh
something,
yeah.
right? And so they have those like they kind of slow down sometimes with like the still frames or stuff.
Yeah.
And they have the kind of little, I don't even know what they're called, but the little like lines or stuff around to show that like there's an impact.
Like the comic book text, like
Yeah, yeah,
explanation
that kind of
thing.
thing. It
Yeah.
it helps highlight stuff without it becoming a blur. Like I know a lot of like action movies, especially these days, like to use a lot of like camera blur to like make
Mm.
it like, oh, you're like in the action.
Oh,
But
I
for
see.
me,
Like
it's
shaky
always like I just can't like see like what's going on.
camera.
And
Yeah,
I'm
it's
like,
a
I
fine
want to see
line.
like the choreographed fight or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I will term the style of how they did that sort of as like comic book action, like
Mhm.
because some of it felt like you were flipping the pages. I think that's what I'm
Yeah,
thinking.
yeah,
Almost like you're flipping the pages fast, like it's a flip
yeah.
book
Hmm.
almost. But
Yeah, they
and then
used
I think that different parts of the scene went at different speeds too.
yes. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So they
Okay.
animate at different speeds depending on for emphasis. So
Yeah.
some things were animated at like 24 and some were at like 12. So like
Well,
the movements are a little like choppier, but like you notice them more.
like the background versus the main character sort of
Hmm.
thing, you mean?
And
Yeah.
also just some like different types of sequences. I don't remember like which and which, but I remember reading about it afterwards and like they specifically play with animation speeds to highlight certain effects.
Okay.
And yeah, man, that studio, I don't know what the like the last movie they did before that was like the Emoji Movie or something.
Hmm.
And then they were
Oh,
like,
I
okay, we're
heard of
gonna make like one of the best animated features I've ever seen.
it. Into the
So
Spider-Verse.
yeah, just like from the
Yeah.
styles of it, you know, like you see a lot of like 3D animated stuff that tries to be like hyper realistic,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it all kind of like meshes into one style, or like all the like Pixar stuff where it's like all the same kind of character face design with like
Mhm.
some changes. It was just nice to see something different, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree, and it was also very cool how, like, all the characters too, of course, pulling from
Mhm.
different cartoon styles as well.
Yeah, yeah, it was
Um,
great.
yeah. Nick over on Twitch said N, maybe for not having watched the movie yet. Definitely go check it out, Nick. Um,
Absolutely, there's a reason I've been bugging Issa to watch it.
yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah.
Oh, Pablo from Haps itself actually was Miles for Halloween, apparently, which is really cool.
Nice.
That
Yeah.
is,
Wait, which
I'm
character is
very
Miles?
jealous. Miles is a main character.
Oh,
Miles
he's an ink.
Morales.
Okay.
Yeah,
No worries. I was just so enthralled with the whole thing that I somehow,
yeah.
I guess, missed his name. Oh yeah, that makes sense now. Okay. I know. I'm laughing because Pablo is saying, "Wow, you so wow." If you ask Vermont or someone else, you'll hear that I'm not the greatest with remembering the names of characters in movies. But I like to say that I'm thinking of all the interactions and like the essence of their being, and like, there's so many things to take in there. So,
I have like the inverse problem where like I will know the character but not the actor. And so someone will be like, "Oh, like who's in that movie?" And I'm like, "The guy who's the name of the main character." Like I can never think of
Miles.
the Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Which is names are a challenge in a different way for me. For whatever
interesting.
reason, the character is more like memorable than the actor. Because like I don't know the actor as a person, but I saw the character do things.
Yeah, 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 totally.
Yeah,
Um,
it's true. David made a point of we remember a bunch of names of like different species, but then like when it comes to like human names, I'm like, of like a person I met last week. I'm like, how are you doing?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots. We don't have infinite brain capacity for these things. Um, but yeah,
So,
yeah,
oh,
I
go
love
ahead.
how I just love how they had so many different styles of Spider-Man in this,
Mm-hmm.
from different eras and ages, and just like anime and uh, the cartoony
The
movie.
super slapstick cartoon was great.
Yeah, I agree.
I
That
have
was
to ask,
like a nice tribute to that era of
yeah,
time.
which was your favorite
That
of
Tony
the
Parker.
different spider people that we saw in the movie?
Yeah. I It's hard to pick. Um,
Yeah, I also struggle with this question. I'm
yeah,
asking you because then I have more time to think.
I see. Pablo says Gwen. Yeah, Gwen is Spider Woman, right?
Uh, yeah, I think it
And
depending on like I think her character has been called different things in different versions.
uh,
In the most recent one, I think she goes by Spider Gwen, but I think also in that they might have called her Spider Woman. But like the series is known as Spider Gwen.
oh, okay.
Uh, but I think she might have just been called Spider. Yeah, there's a lot of Spider-Man thing. We're not even going to talk. Like I said, spoiler. Later, we're going to talk about all the different like radioactive spiders. I didn't get all of them. There's so many.
Yeah, there's a lot of content here. Oh, and also as we dive into this episode, I'll do like hey everyone, welcome to Sips and Spiders with Sebastian and Solange, episode 4. We do this monthly, and as an announcement slash thing, we're doing a broadcast on HAPS on Saturday. Can you talk about that, Sebastian?
Oh my
With
gosh,
the
yes.
American Arachnology Society?
Yeah. Okay, this is really exciting. This
And,
Saturday,
and also tell us a little bit about the American Arachnology Society and
yes.
do you know how many members there are, people who attend the meetings regularly and things
I
like
know
that?
how many people are coming to this year's meeting. We've
Okay.
got so the American Arachnology Society, as you might guess, group of people from the Americas, both North, Central, and South, that study arachnids. So not just spiders, but all types of
Arachnids.
arachnids. Thank you, Issa. All of these wonderful animals. And we
You're
have a
all welcome.
conference, and for the last year and this year, it's a virtual conference, which we talked a little bit about last time. Um, and we have a lot of really cool events, both for the people attending, but also for everyone. And one of them is this weekend, there is what we call a bio blitz. It's basically we want to go out and see how many arachnids we can find as a group together all around the world in one weekend. So anyone can join in. You don't have to be registered for the conference. You just have to join the project on iNaturalist and like take photographs of all the arachnids you see and just post them to iNaturalist. And once you join the project, they're like automatically grouped without everyone else's. But as part of that, on Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern, Issa and I are going to do a special live stream from the AAS, okay, where we're sitting because it's all virtual. That it's going to both be answers to a lot of common arachnid questions, answers to questions that whoever shows up has, and we're going to be seeing what animals people have been finding over Saturday and Friday. So it's all over the weekend, starting Friday, going to Sunday. So we're really excited because we've got people all across the globe working on this. So we're going to be able to pull out some like really cool observations of like arachnids that I wouldn't have ever seen, that Issa might not ever have seen, and talk about them. So it's going to be a lot of fun. That is going to be on the here on Haps. I think Issa just put the BioBlitz link, and we will. I think we're both signed up on the Haps like broadcast, but it'll be on that. It'll be also rebroadcast on the American Arachnological Society's YouTube and Twitter. So there are a lot of ways to join in, just like a regular Haps thing where you can view from anywhere.
Yeah. So it's a lot. The event, the BioBlitz is a lot like the City Nature Challenge, which is worldwide and global, which anyone can participate in. And yeah, as Sebastian said, I just posted the link in the chat here on Haps. And if you're elsewhere and not watching from Haps, come on over to Haps or reach out to me or Sebastian on the social medias, and we'll happily supply you with the link. Or you can look it up yourself by what's the title for it? Called the AAS 2021 Virtual BioBlitz.
Yeah, or you just go to AmericanArachnology.com or .org. Sorry, it's a .org. And there you can go to the site for the 2021 meeting, and that'll have it all there. But also, we will be tweeting it out, like both the AAS account and the two of us will be tweeting it out. So if you follow us on Twitter, and if you don't follow us on Twitter, to get all of that info.
Yes. Here, I'm going to throw up also the screenshot for it as well.
Oh, perfect.
I had to delete something to.
Oh, that's fine.
Because we have the max uploaded media.
Yeah, I ran out of space putting in a bunch of like different radioactive spiders.
Yeah.
Oh, there's some.
Maybe
Okay, I deleted one of the sample images to make some more space.
I deleted a couple things too, but
yeah,
it's actually not. For some reason, it's not popping up. Not sure why. Try one more time.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Yeah, it's not uploading for some reason. Oh well. Well, the link is in the chat here. And I can also, I don't know if it's helpful, but present it on the screen.
There's also, since we're talking about it, there's a couple other events that are open to the public. Like that means like anyone can see. There's going to be a talk by Gillian Cowles, who, if you don't know, is the author of one of my favorite books, Amazing Arachnids. She's giving a talk Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern, and that is also going to be broadcast on the AAS YouTube account, live streamed. So you can check that out there. Highly recommend it. She's wonderful, and we were really lucky to be able to book her for the event. And we had a third thing that my brain can't remember right now, but those are the two big ones this weekend.
Cool. I didn't realize that you guys mentioned the bug scope on the page on the AAS website. So that's really cool.
Yeah. No, and we got to shout out like the bug scope is in some ways more famous than the AAS here. We're getting the credit.
All in different ways.
Yeah.
So cool. Groovy. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see everyone there. Please, like, trust me. If you can't make it, I saw some people saying like they have other stuff going on. If you can't make it, all of this will be saved and like posted on the YouTube channel for the American Arachnological Society. So you'll be able to catch it after the fact.
Oh, awesome. That's good to know too. Cool. Whereas for some reason I'm not able to upload images right now. I don't know. I feel like I've had run into this before, but oh well. I shared the links in the chat, so I presented them on screen. So that's what I can do for now. Cool. All right. I was also thinking maybe every time we say radioactive spiders, everyone take a drink of your water or radioactive
Okay,
spider
starting
drink.
now.
Starting now.
Anytime we say the word radioactive spider,
Cheers. Take a sip.
I'm going to start a counter on my end of just how many times we
Ooh.
say.
Yeah, and I guess for Michelle, she's drinking coffee.
Michelle, if you stay up all night, we are not liable for that.
Yes. Pablo said, did someone say drink? Yes. Or sip. Sips and spiders.
Yeah.
So take a sip. Yes. Of your drink. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you something else about Spider-Verse. Oh, what did you think of the music? I love the music.
Oh, it was good. I'm having trouble like thinking of it again because I think, when you watch a movie or something, you just get lost in what's happening.
Yeah.
And the music enhances it, but you don't always notice it.
Oh, I've seen it like 3 times, so there's a reason. But it had a really nice soundtrack.
Yeah. It was really solid, a really solid show. And someone asked earlier about spider bites, and I did take a picture of a screenshot of the spider bite happening that turns Miles Spider-Man.
We're gonna be doing a lot of that.
Pretty cool view, and the eye. I thought the eye arrangement here was kind of interesting.
Yeah, no, let's there's one more question I want to get to that, and then let's hop into like looking at all these spiders, because Craig just had a question about how what I said about spiders eating. So the spiders, okay, that's they eat in the sense of like they ingest nutrition, but they don't eat solids. They can't like eat like a sandwich. They can only drink things, so they have to liquefy everything before they drink it. Because their mouth is literally like a tiny little straw, like underneath their fangs. You almost never see it, but it's limits their ability of what they can eat. Other arachnids actually can like eat solid food, but spiders cannot. And so that's one of the things. That's why like they hold on to food for a long time, and they're just like putting it under their face. They're just drinking it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just want to get that because it was a thing that I said that was unclear, which happens a lot.
Yeah, thanks for that clarification.
But now let's get to the main part of the show, that what I'm really excited about.
Ooh.
We're trying to identify radioactive spiders. So.
Oh, cheers. Sip. Spiders, sips, and radioactive spiders and sips, I guess, for today.
Yes. So we are whatchamacallit, looking at all the different spiders that have bit various spider people and trying to see if we can get any sense of what kind of real life spider they either resemble or might be. And it's going to be, just having previewed some of them, it's going to be there are some easy ones, and then there's some ones that are going to be an experience. But let's start with the one from Spider-Verse, which is what we've got on screen right now, right?
Yes. All right. Shall I show a different view of it?
Yeah. If you got another shot of it, let's take a look and like maybe walk us through like what you're looking at to try to get a sense of what spider a real life spider this reminds you of.
Oh, actually, this view is not really as clear as the first one. Perhaps.
I've got a good shot of it. Let me see if I can upload it.
Okay.
That's of. Oh, I think it's on here.
Okay.
There we go. That one's pretty solid.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Here, let me switch out this one. Well, I do want to point out one thing about, or make one comment about the one with Miles in it, where he's checking out what bit him, and about this is, I guess, reality versus is it a true characteristic or not? One thing that kind of stuck out to me about the spider, Sebastian, besides the eyes, are also the way that the fangs, they seemed like a little too just like pointing out from the main part of the chest.
Yeah, they go straight kind of down and out a little bit.
Where normally with true spiders like this one, Araneomorphs, they'd go like this way a little bit more.
They pinch a little bit to the side. Yeah, so that's one of the things one of the quick decision points we can make is which way do the fangs go? If they go like up and down, that's typically something like a tarantula and other spiders that have like a tarantula type body. They're called mygalomorphs. But most spiders you see, like Issa said, are araneomorphs, and they have fangs that come in from the side like a pair of
Yeah.
tweezers.
And I like to tell the difference between that because like M has two parallel sides to it that go up and down. So it's like megalomorph.
Oh,
And then
yeah, okay.
A for uraniumorph goes like
Come
this.
in together.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
That's the way that I like to think of it.
Okay, I'm going to use that from now on.
Go for it. Yeah. And I want to comment too, as we dive into this and before we get too into this project we're working on, that Molly B is saying spiders are gardener's best friend. And I'll add on to that to say they're also really important for many different types of wildlife, and especially for birds. Spiders are a big source of food for many birds when they're raising their babies. So them and like soft green caterpillars are majority of the diet. So.
And for some birds, it's even a nest making material, silk at least.
Yes,
so there
like
are things like,
hummingbirds.
yeah, it's adorable. They make little egg cups out of silk, and yes, it is very cute. Spiders are that. I think I say this a couple of times in my previous ones. Spiders have this really cool intersection of like ecosystems where they're like predators, but then they're also like a really big prey for like larger animals. So they affect a lot of different animals.
And then you don't have to worry too much about them becoming overpopulated because they'll just start eating each other or something.
Yeah, like it is a self-controlling situation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. All right, let's dive into the spiders. So the first thing that I look at here are the eyes, and these eyes look somewhat realistic to me, but also like a bit fictional with those top two eyes that really throw off the reality of the eye formation.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I can almost see what spiders they like are pulling from and mixing together. Maybe we can pull up the spider eye chart.
Yeah,
to show people what we're talking about. Yeah, so one of the really cool things about spiders is that they all, or most of them, have 8 eyes. They can have fewer, but the size and the location of the eyes can vary a lot between different types of spiders, and it's actually a really easy way to tell what kind of spider you're looking at. So this diagram is a really beautiful illustration by Thomas Shahan of a bunch of different families of spiders and what their eye pattern looks like. And so one of the things that I do and that Issa does is we see a spider, we look into its eyes, and we try to see, okay, what does this remind me of?
You're like deep into its eyes.
Yes, gaze deeply. So here I see, going back to the spider that we saw in Into the Spider-Verse, the one that bites Miles. It's got this really cool mix of what looks like jumping spider and like wolf spider eyes to me a little bit. Or like maybe like because like the eye rows go 2, 4, 2, right?
Yeah.
And that there's a couple of things that have that pattern, but the like 4 eyes with the 2 biggest ones that are really huge, and then 2 ones on the side that are smaller, is like classic jumping spider, right?
Yeah.
But usually the eyes that are the really big ones are the gosh, I don't want to get into naming all the eyes because they're confusing, but the pair in this one that are like small underneath the 2 big eyes, those are the ones in the jumping spider that they're largest. They don't have like eyes beneath them. Maybe we do have to name the eyes. I don't know. That'll get confusing. Let's not do that.
Okay. Well, maybe just throw the names out there so people can understand that they exist, and maybe we can go from there.
Yeah, so spiders' eyes, they have not only different ones, but they are like ones that are different in like how they see and how the structure of the retina works. And so they have what are called primary eyes and lateral eyes. Or I guess how you so that sorry, that's confusing. There's 2 ways to split them up, by their function and by the location on the spider's head. Let's talk about the location because that is the more
Location, yeah.
cross
It's more like
spider.
it's like a grid way if you talk
Yeah.
about the location.
So
'Cause it's
there are. Yeah, go ahead, Isa.
oh yeah, because there's the lateral or the medial, right?
Yeah, there's
So the
lateral,
one
medial, and posterior,
posterior.
anterior.
Yeah. So the lower ones, wait, the lower ones are anterior, right? And the
Mhm.
higher ones are posterior.
Yep.
And then the ones on
Closer
the
to the
side are
spider's butt
lateral.
is posterior. Closer to the spider's face or to the tip of it is anterior.
Hmm.
Median, middle, lateral, sides.
So then you just take those words and use them in different combinations to describe where the eyes are that you're talking about. So
Yeah. So in this one, and like,
it's hard. We need a third word for this one
yeah,
since there's
it's
three
it's
rows.
always like, but I guess I'll say here, the position of the eyes in spiders, like the eyes that are the largest in, say, a jumping spider are not the same pair of eyes that are the largest in other types of spiders. And that actually tells you a lot about how those spiders see differently. So
Right.
in the spider that we're looking at right now from Into the Spider-Verse, the largest pair of eyes are those would be the posterior median eyes.
And I guess in this case, we're thinking of the top pair of eyes as being the fictional row, right?
Yeah, they usually don't have a third. I mean, there are things that have that kind of arrangement, but that would be, I guess it depends which one is the like makes that like third row. Yeah, I'm already confusing myself because like
I think that third row in spiders where it's close to that, they'd be more on the
those would be
side.
the
They'd be more
posterior
pushing
laterals.
aside the
Yeah,
lateral. Yeah.
yeah,
But these are too close to the center of
typically.
the body to be realistic in my mind, from what I know.
Yeah, there are a few that kind of have that,
Let me
but
make the chart
very
completely
rarely.
big so we can really
Yeah,
clearly see it too. Yeah. So you can get a sense here of how the different eyes are they're kind of like two by two,
mm-hmm.
like um in different orientations. And yeah, bilaterally symmetrical, which is kind of how that ends up being
Yeah, which is nice and
paired that
helpful.
way. Yeah.
But if we, yeah, so those the eyes, if we're guessing right on what those like two big ones are, they would be similar to in function to the big eyes on a wolf spider.
Which is lycosity on
So
this
third
chart.
row, first down on the left on the third row.
Yeah.
And those spiders see very differently from jumping spiders, with the lycosids of the wolf spiders having very good night vision, and motion, like low light vision, while jumping spiders they have very high resolution vision, but they need a lot of light, so they usually can only see well during the day.
Mhm.
Because in the jumping spiders, the eyes that are really big on the wolf spider are actually like super tiny. They're like barely there.
Yeah. I'll take off instant full screen now. So
Yeah. So I think this is like a mix between a jumping spider and a wolf spider is I think what we're getting from the eyes here.
yeah. Although it seems also like orb weaver or something like that. Or
Yeah,
cobweb spider
the
too, with
top
the way the
row.
rest of its body is.
Yeah, the body is different. The body's an orb weaver body with a jumping spider and wolf spider eyes,
Yeah.
which is a really interesting mix. But I think in this movie is one of the few ones where it like makes sense, because there's a shot earlier when the spider's like it's like going down on a web to like before it lands on Miles, and you can see it has like a number on its back and like there's a name of like a
Oh
company,
yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
like a specifically genetically engineered like hybrid, spider that they've like made.
Yeah.
So it has all these traits smushed together,
Hmm.
which is, I mean, that
It,
kind of makes sense. You're taking like all the powers of a jumping spider, a wolf spider, and a
oh
orb
yeah.
weaver. That's basically
Yeah.
Spider-Man to an approximation.
Yeah. Yeah. Plus spinning spider, I'd say. But
Mhm, mhm.
yeah. And that actually is interesting how they made that choice to have letters as if it came from a laboratory.
Yeah.
Because that's like a whole other story, I'd say. Who made
Yeah.
that spider? What were they doing? And how did it get out?
I think it
So
was like I don't know if it's like hinted at that they're like in some abandoned lab at the time. But they don't go into it, at least in this one. Maybe we'll learn more. It might be in the comics or in another, and maybe in the sequel. But it's interesting because like in other movies, they're not necessarily like visibly different spiders. They're just radioactive spiders, which again,
Yeah.
that is our cue to take a sip.
I also thought I appreciated actually how, oh yeah, radioactive spider. Cheers. Thanks, Ramon. I appreciated how the spider didn't bite Miles right away. I think that was very realistic to have the spider just like hanging out. And then
Yeah.
I forget what caused the bite to happen. Do you remember? I don't
In
remember.
this one, the spider's like crawling all over it, like up his sleeve and everything. And that's
Yeah.
when I thought it was gonna bite him, because usually when a spider bites people, or one of the more common ways is if it gets caught in your sleeve and like your clothing pinches it against your skin, and the spider thinks it's getting trapped and it'll bite. In this one, for dramatic effect, it crawls out onto his hand and then bites down on his hand
Yeah.
in full view of the camera. I
Yeah.
don't think there's anything that like that makes it happen besides like I think Miles notices it. But I don't know. This is a genetically engineered spider. It
True.
doesn't. It's maybe been engineered to bite people and give them spider powers. We don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so and then Miles smacks it and it dies.
Yeah,
I think is what happens. Yeah.
which is what happens most of the time for spiders that bite people, which is why evolutionarily spiders have evolved to not bite things that can smack them and then they die.
Yep, not worth it for the spiders. Yeah. It's different from social insects like honeybees, where if they die, it doesn't matter. But for spiders, if they die, it does matter because then they don't pass on their genetic material.
Yeah.
So
this was a cool one. I think there's a couple other shots in Spider-Verse of some of the other characters getting bit. I don't think I have. No, I do have one. I have. Let me pull it up.
all right.
I'll upload it. I have a shot of another character from Spider-Verse getting bit here, because
Okay.
it is yet again a different spider. So let's see here.
Oh, and David Haddon is saying they were genetically modified rather than radioactive in one of the movies. So
I think maybe in the Raimi, the 2002 ones. Oh, now I'm also having issues. Oh no, here it is. Okay,
wait,
I got it.
Miles says it's a radioactive spider in the movie, or we're assuming that it was radioactive.
I think we are assuming it's radioactivity. Also,
Were
take a
there
sip.
hints of radioactivity, like on cans or something like that? Maybe since it was down in the sewer. Perhaps? I'm not
Maybe.
sure.
I think
We need
this
to
one.
rewatch it.
This one. I don't remember what they specifically say, because Miles doesn't know about it, and his uncle, he's there with, I don't think knows about it. Like knows the like origin of the spider. So we don't know.
Okay.
But in different versions, it's different things, whether it's radioactive or like some other kind of affected spider. The original is radioactive because I guess that's the thing in 60s.
David is asking, do they see in IR?
Oh god, I wish they did, but no. The only animal that we know of.
Infrared.
Oh no, there's 2 animals that can detect infrared radiation. I guess like kind of in the way of like vision-ish. There are some beetles that can do it, that they can detect infrared. They have a special organ that does it because they like to land on recently burnt trees to lay eggs. But the other one is a couple of the pit vipers actually have what is basically a really simple eye. It's like a pinhole or a cup eye that detects infrared radiation, which is also known as heat. It's just another type of radiation that we experience it as heat. But some animals can like use it to get very low resolution pictures, but still a picture nonetheless. There's a really cool, if you like Google like pit viper infrared camera or something, there's a picture that shows like the resolution of it. It's not great, but it's a lot better than you'd think for an animal that is literally just seeing heat. But spiders cannot do this.
Not yet.
No. I mean, it'd be cool. Don't get me wrong. That'd be pretty
Yeah.
sick. But
Spiders don't need to because their prey doesn't generate heat that much anyway.
yeah,
So
that's a
there's
good
no
point.
evolutionary benefit to them
Mhm.
developing something like that. Unless it was some sort of like defense to stay away from mammals that were like eating them or something like that. But
Yeah.
those pressures are not high enough.
Yeah, they've got other ways of detecting those types of predators that the infrared wouldn't really be a big advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, one day maybe we'll find one, but I'd be very excited, but I doubt it.
Yeah. One
So
day in a couple billion years.
yeah,
As
actually,
evolution
yeah,
has
maybe.
progressed down the line, maybe. Yeah.
I lost my train of thought. But
Um,
radioactive spiders, sorry, SIP.
Sip.
So this here is, I think, God, Spider-Man Noir, Nicolas Cage's character, which, can I just say, I did not expect Nicolas Cage to ever be in a Spider-Man
Wow.
related property, but
Yeah.
God, it was I didn't know it was going to happen, and so when it was him, like, voicing it, I'm like, oh my God.
Did you recognize it or did you know going in?
Just recognize the voice. I've seen perhaps too many Nicolas Cage movies
Mhm.
as a
Some of them
like
are pretty good.
some of them are really good, some of them are really bad, some of them are so bad that they're good. It's, it's an experience either way.
Yeah.
But this little spider here this is, I think, one of the better shots we get of it. But what do you think we're looking at here in terms of a spider?
I need to make it bigger, so I'm gonna do the full screen. Um, I don't know, maybe like a cobweb spider-ish, but or like a
Actually, I'm gonna
pirate
zoom in.
spider maybe or something like that.
Ooh, pirate spider. That's actually that I could totally see pirate
The
spider.
thin legs and the
Yeah,
irregular
the
body
super
sort
thin
of thing.
legs. I was
Yeah.
almost gonna think spitting spider, but the head and abdomen proportion aren't quite right. But the spitting
Okay.
spiders also have those like really thin legs.
Let me see if I can bring on a picture of a pirate spider for everybody. Oh, here.
Yeah.
Well, I could drop it into the chat, but
Oh, nice.
the link that I have that I brought up of one. Um, but I think I'm having a problem with uploading images when I like during the broadcast. Oh, this one's working. Cool.
Oh, yeah.
All right,
Maybe there were
here's
just too many before. I'll clear out
yeah.
some that we already used.
Okay. Yeah, so here I guess I'll get rid of the instant full screen to share the pirate spider image that I think matches pretty well,
That
I would
looks,
say.
yeah, that
The
actually
slender
looks really
legs.
similar.
Yeah. So that's kind of my guess. Although for this specific one, it has a very like more bulbous abdomen, it looks like, than the one on this person's hand.
It could just be the angle. I feel like that one, that it has a pretty large abdomen compared to the head.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. That is like looks pretty spot on to me. Why are
I'm
they called pirate spiders, by the way?
I don't remember. Do you know? Maybe
I
does it steal from other spiders' webs or something like that,
Yeah, I
maybe?
think they're web invaders, which
Yeah.
is a really cool kind of lifestyle.
Yeah, let
Yeah,
me see.
they are web invaders, or they actually, I think there might be some variation, but some of them also
Uh-huh.
use aggressive mimicry where they like pretend to be
Uh,
like a prey item, and then when the owner of the web comes, they attack, which is
uh-huh.
really cool.
Um, uh, Eric Eaton uh, writes in this blog that I'll post into the chat here exactly what David Dunn just said. Basically, what he just said. Here, the article says pirate spiders are easily identified by their 4 eye patches and 2 wooden legs. But seriously, folks, the long spines on their legs help differentiate them from the cobweb spiders and the sheetweb spiders that they might otherwise be mistaken for. So,
Sweet. That's a very
um,
good idea. I'm really proud of this one.
Yeah, pirate spiders eat cobweb spiders as well as orb
Oh.
weavers and other spiders.
Very cool. Yeah, I guess they're going after web builders.
Yes, they hop onto the ships, aka the webs, and take over. So here's the thing, the link
Oh,
here.
nice.
So
Yeah, I don't know if it's fully thematic for the Spider-Man Noir character, but yeah, still cool.
yeah.
I wonder how much like they think about what spider they're drawing. And I know sometimes the answer is 0 because I'll pull up another one after this where the answer is definitely 0. But I'm curious because it looks like for the ones that they did for Miles, that seems like they put in some thought into like
Yeah.
the traits of the spider that they're drawing, which what was one of the things that like I felt really cool. You know, it's
I
nice
agree with that.
when Spider-Man acknowledges like spiders.
Yeah. I think and once again I do like how the spider like was walking around a bunch before the bite happened,
Mm-hmm.
which I think was pretty I think that was a nice touch too.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go to the next radioactive spider, everybody.
That's a sip.
How's your coconut? Are you almost on your coconut?
I'm almost done with my cocoa. I've been alternating because
Mm.
I'm low on coconut water. It's
I've
a
been
sad situation
alternating.
I find
I've
myself in.
been I've been alternating between my radioactive spider drink and tea. So
Oh,
cheers.
nice. What kind of tea you got?
Chamomile sleepy time tea. The
Yes,
best.
that's a good evening tea.
My favorite. Yep.
Okay. So I think those are all the ones that I've got that are from Spider-Verse itself. So now we're gonna go
Alright.
to a different version of Spider-Man, and I've got these from the Spider-Man wiki. So they are all
Okay.
labeled by which version of Earth in the Marvel Universe numbering system this Spider-Man is from, which may not be fully helpful to everyone.
Okay.
Because I don't know all of them. But here's the radioactive spider sip from Earth 11, and this is where the ones where I'm like, there was limited sources used, and you'll maybe see why in a second.
Wow. Let me make that one bigger for us.
Yeah.
Fully appreciate. Oh. Well, first of all, it has pupils at the eye.
Yeah.
And it has a tuft of like baby hair, human
Yeah.
baby hair on top.
And it's got like little like lips for like instead of like I guess those are the chelicerae, the fangs, but they look like little like cartoon lips.
Yeah, it does. Like a fish lips.
Yeah, fish lips.
I'm
And
very
then we've
curious
got
to see if they move how they move them in animation.
well, this is I think from a comic, so I don't know if it's fully. I don't know if this version has been animated. Like most of these are going to be from comics. But then we've got the legs sprouting from the abdomen.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Which is a trait we'll see a few times, but
that's a no-no.
That's a big no-no here on Sips and Spiders. Folks, do not draw your spiders with legs sticking out of the abdomen. They do not have those.
Yeah. Yeah. That to me that means you did not try very hard.
Yeah.
When drawing the spider.
It
or
looks
you
like
didn't look at resources.
Yeah. Like it looks like they were kind of going for like jumping spider eyes, like the two big anterior median eyes and then smaller anterior lateral eyes.
Yeah.
But then kind of things got away.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm curious. So wait, was this a spider that bit someone, or what was the spider's
All
role,
of these are
you know?
examples of the inciting incident spider that gave someone powers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, this one's very like human, cute, like made cute to be cute.
Yeah.
It's like fuzzy. It has eyes that you can look at and connect with. It has a little tuft of hair you can pat on the head. But then it has the one daunting skull, like semi-skull on its abdomen too. So
yeah, there are some spiders that have really cool abdomen patterns. I'm thinking of like the happy face spiders. I think there must be one. I know there are ones that have a skull pattern, but like, I'm sure if I Google it, I'm just gonna get drawings of people with skull
Oh
jellyfish.
yeah, I bet you there's tons of those.
Oh no! Oh, okay. No, I that was a very fast result. There's apparently a jumping spider that looks like it has a skull on its head. It looks really cool. This is not related content, I guess, only tangentially, but I will.
Share it with us.
Yeah, I'm gonna save that
Okay.
picture because yeah, that looks awesome.
Yeah. Shall we go on to the next spider?
Yeah, let's do in
Right.
the meantime. So this is some weird jumping spider thing. Realism
Yeah.
score is no.
Also, the movement of it suggests that it's jumping or leaping too.
Yeah.
The movement that they indicate.
All right, yeah. If you can pull up another one while I'm gonna get
Okay.
this photo of a cool spider with a skull on its head.
Should I do Bitey mixed Spidey bite?
Sure.
That's the title of one of them.
Oh my god, that is the title. I forget. These are all like the original titles that I got from
Oh really?
from
So,
the wiki. So they're just
Bitey,
whatever the person uploaded their title the best.
Bitey mixed Spidey bite, mutant radioactive spider. So cheers for that one.
Radioactive
Take your
spider.
sip of your choice of drink.
Okay.
I'm done with my radioactive spider drink, so I'm gonna wait for the powers to kick in, and in the
Hopefully,
meantime, go to my
by
tea.
the end of the broadcast, you will be fully powered up.
So this one looks like Wolverine spider.
Yeah.
Siberian tiger spider.
It has a mouth. I think this is the biggest thing that I was like, oh, they have pedipalps though. This is a really interesting thing. So they normally don't draw the pedipalps. It's normally just the 8 legs and then the fangs. But here we have pedipalps right next to that mouth, which is great.
But then they gave it like teeth.
Yeah, like a mouth and teeth, which
I mean, they gave it the huge fangs, but then they couldn't stop at that and had to give it a bunch of other teeth.
Yeah, it's got like a people face.
Yeah.
Which is an experience.
Yeah, because they made like those 2 center eyes or medial eyes.
Yeah.
Like they made it looks like a nose, not eyes.
Yeah, they made him look like a nose. I'm trying to see if there's anything.
And they also gave it hair on top. For some reason, hair on top, and even a goatee or a beard.
Oh, it does have a goatee. Oh my god. Okay.
That's so weird.
The goatee is the hair on top is. There are lots of spiders that have hair tufts. Well, mostly jumping spiders I know, but I'm sure some other ones.
True.
But the goat, I do not know of any spiders with goatees. I'll say that much.
And also to be clear as well with these things, like different insects and things do tend to have tufts of hair, like how robber flies or assassin flies, they do have mustaches.
Yeah.
So things like that aren't unheard of sometimes, but I've never seen the beard / goatee situation with spiders. And I kind of doubt that they took the tuft of hair on top from spiders too. I feel like that they just were like, oh, let's do this.
Yeah, I think
the way the rest of it looks.
This is very stylized, but they get points for the pedipalps. I don't know what kind of spider they were going for. My best guess would be like a wolf spider, maybe, but they left out 4 of the eyes in that case.
Yeah.
But you know, it's a memorable bitey McSpidey bite.
Yeah, I'll say that it's a mix between a spider and like a walrus and like a person.
Yeah.
Or Wolverine or something. But yeah.
It's got big Wolverine energy, man, with those like hair tufts.
Oh yeah, and George is adding to that the spider looks like it has nose hair.
So that's one cool thing that is like not too far off. There are a lot of spiders that have again, I say a lot. I see this mostly in jumpers, but I've seen other ones where they will have like rings of hairs kind of below and above their eyes, of different sizes, but sometimes that is to keep like debris out of the eyes. And sometimes in some jumping spiders, it's like part of their like ornaments. Like they'll have like eyebrows or sometimes stuff. Usually it's on the top, but I've seen ones where it's kind of a ring around the eyes that might be a little lower on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like tarantula mohawks, which are the whole other thing, where they have like a little mohawk of hair.
Oh yeah, like the dimorphic jumping spider, which totally has a cool hair tuft situation going on there.
Absolutely.
I'm not sure what David means by spirus. Do you know?
I'm not sure. Oh, spider walrus.
Oh, spider
course.
wallet. Okay,
Of
there we go.
course.
Thanks.
David,
Of
you got
course.
it. Thank you.
Yes. All right. Thanks,
Okay.
Spirus. On to the next. Oh, wait,
well-
I'll also add too.
Oh, go
Well,
ahead.
maybe that's indicating that he's Spider-Man, but yeah, the guy in the back has this spider signal, spider
Yeah,
sense thing
That's
going on.
definitely a Peter Parker in the background, I'm thinking.
Oh yeah, the long face and whatnot too. Okay.
Glasses.
Yeah.
All right, I want to go back to that cool spider with a skull on its face because I found it.
Okay. Yeah.
And it just looks like it has a skull on its head. It's
Well,
really
let me
cool.
move some things around here for us. Whoa, that's
Right?
intense. Yeah.
So this is a jumping spider. It doesn't have the skull in the abdomen. But I'm trying to see if I can find. Let me see if I can find the species name in the story.
Okay. Wow.
Okay.
Really-
Thyin Natalii.
What do you think? So I doubt that it's actually like supposed to look like a skull, right?
Mhm.
So what do you think is going on there with that coloration? Do you think it's supposed to look like extra eyes or something like that?
Yeah, that's one thing I'm thinking of sometimes because the actual black circles overlap. Like the eyes are within those circles. They're like not in the center, but like
In the
to the
front
edge,
circles.
and
Or the
also in
front of
the
thing?
posterior ones. So the back
Okay.
circles have the posterior lateral eyes in them.
So it's
At
like
the
really, really,
edges.
it's like really, really thick eyeliner.
Yeah, it might be to make the eyes more noticeable.
Uh-huh.
That is to make any animal that is looking for eyes see eyes when there are none, and therefore be like, "Oh, I've been spotted. Maybe I shouldn't attack the spider from above."
Yeah.
It could also be screening pigment. So one of the things about eyes is that you only want to get light from the direction that you're looking, which sounds pretty reasonable. But with an animal like a jumping spider, the distance between like the outside of their head and to where the like inside of their eye begins is very, very thin. And if you've looked at like, the sun through your hand or something, you know that bright lights can pass through even things that like look opaque. And so you can get interference where, like, if you're a jumping spider, you're looking forward, but the light from above you is passing through your skull, or they don't have a skull, they're exoskeleton, into your retina from above, and you're just getting glare. And so, like, your vision will be blurrier. So, a lot of animals, or I see a lot of jumping spiders, have these dark patches basically where the retina of the eye is, covering that up so that, and they're black because they absorb a lot of light. And so therefore the light is absorbed before it gets through the exoskeleton into the inside of the eye. That's just a hypothesis based on like kind of what I know about them. I don't know if that's been tested. But it's a common thing I see in a lot of jumping spiders, especially the ones that tend to be lighter colored or like slightly translucent otherwise. They will have
Yeah.
these dark areas around the eye cups.
Yeah, that's really cool. And yeah, it makes me think about I wonder how many people study like the translucentness of arthropods in general and how it affects like their
Yeah.
coloration and their vision. I think about that a lot specifically with caterpillars. I like wonder if different caterpillars are differently translucent so that they blend in with the leaves more because leaves are translucent. When the
Yeah.
sun shines through the leaves, they change colors and light up. So do the caterpillars also maintain a certain level of
Yeah, something that is
translucency?
matching to their. Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
interesting.
And then it also got me thinking what you were saying about how caterpillars oftentimes have head capsules, which are less translucent and more opaque, maybe to help with the vision.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Yeah.
And also, in addition to vision, it's just like thermal, like radiation in general. Like you've got UV radiation, you've got just the heat from the sun that you don't necessarily want to get to your eyes and your brain.
Right.
So anything that you can use to keep that on the outside of your head is good.
Nice.
So that's why animals have thick things around their head, but that's, general thing.
Protection.
Yeah.
Helmets. Natural helmets.
Natural helmets. Okay, but we can move on to our next radioactive spider. Let me see if there's another really good one. Also, I
Right.
forgot I gotta take a sip.
Oh yeah. I'm on to the tea.
Okay, there's a good one here that I think we might be able to get decently far on the ID.
All right. Also, time-wise, shall we end
Oh
this
yeah.
at 7:30? So maybe we'll get through two more.
Yeah, let's do
Perhaps.
let's do two more, and then when we're done with two more, we can
We'll
call
see
it.
where we're at. Okay.
There's
Okay.
folks, there's a lot of these. We won't get through all.
To be continued,
Yeah.
as usual. Yeah.
So this is the spider from. Let me pull it up on my end. Earth, 12,041. And so we've got.
So into the future.
No, they're just numbered. They're not.
Oh,
It's
just
not
numbered.
year. It's just
Oh,
like
okay.
Earth version 12,041.
Okay. Cool.
There's a lot.
So what does it look like to you then?
So I'm seeing right away like the general leg, really big abdomen, small head, long legs. That is typically to me orb weaver. I'm
Okay.
seeing it's got like in the front, it looks like pincers instead of fangs, but sometimes the fangs can kind of look like mandibles, like on an insect. But then the eyes are confusing me.
I didn't even think of those as eyes, to tell the truth. I'm thinking from this angle, I feel like it's
Mhm.
upside down. And that
Oh,
just
were you looking at the? Okay, wait, tell me. I was thinking face on the bottom, head on the bottom,
yeah,
abdomen on the top.
that makes sense. But for some reason, like I feel like we're seeing an upside down view of the spider, and for some reason, it has that pattern on the bottom of it, which
Oh,
that
so you were
pattern.
seeing those things as the spinnerets and like an abdomen pattern
Oh
with a
no no
really
no
big head.
no no not that.
Oh,
No, like
okay, yes.
ventral side, ventral
Yeah,
side.
okay.
Yes.
Bottom of the spider. Oh,
Yes.
that might also be the case.
So that's what I think of when I see it. Maybe because the person's on the other side and just
Mm-hmm.
something about the angle of the legs, I think too.
Yeah.
And the way that pattern on the, I guess, ventral side from my
Mm-hmm.
perspective of the cephalothorax is just makes me think of it's like some weird reflection, or it also makes me think it just makes me think of what spiders look like when you look at their shed exoskeleton and see all the holes where their legs used to be. I
Oh,
just think of that for
yeah.
some reason.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I totally get that vibe. Because they do have like, yeah, you see the inside, it's like kind of like socketed. Do I
Yeah,
have
I
an
might have
exoskeleton?
an example to share.
I'm also like,
Um,
do I have? Oh, hold on. Quick, everyone get your tarantula molts and meet
Go,
us
go,
back here in
go.
15 seconds.
It's not, mine are not properly available because I never bent them back the way to show
I
that part
think
of it.
it does say something that we can both like take like 3 steps away from our webcams and be like, oh, okay, we got it.
Cheers. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me make your screen bigger, Sebastian.
Okay, I gotta make sure. Let me center it in the. Ooh, no, I'm on delay. Okay, yeah, there we
Yeah.
go.
So that's what that just reminds me of that center part of the
Yeah.
body a lot for some reason. Like I wonder if the artist drew inspiration from the way that looks, or maybe they used a shed exoskeleton as their model when they were drawing
Ooh,
the spider.
maybe. Cause yeah, I totally see like the arrangement of the eyes. They kind of form like this like
Yeah.
oval in
Here.
like how they go
Yeah.
around the head, and that definitely it reminds me of that the
Yeah.
openings on the inside of the head.
Hold it up one more time because I
Yeah,
made
let me.
the
Oh yeah,
one
cool.
screen a little bigger so it's a little easier to see side by
There we
side.
go. Let's see if it'll focus,
Oops.
and let me get the glare out of the way. If I do
Yeah.
this,
Turn it the other direction.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I see when I see this the drawn spider. Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, and I
Thanks.
totally see the like the markings on that, even on here, kind of look like the book lungs underneath the openings of the lungs on the shed. I get that. No, I
Right.
totally get that vibe.
Yeah.
I was the neon green though kind of reminded me of like
Smiley
a
face.
Yeah, happy face spiders.
Happy face spider, yeah, because
Yeah.
they can be so bright.
Yeah, so if
Um,
you guys don't know these, they are adorable. Though I guess their bodies are neon green and their little smiley face is red, so I had the colors flipped. But they are these really cool spiders from Hawaii, where they all have like a different pattern on their abdomen, and a lot of them look like sometimes a benign smiling face and sometimes like a really creepy demon smiling face. Do you have a photo of one, or should I pull one up?
I don't have one ready to go, so
I'll
but
grab one.
but Pablo, it looks like he came back to the broadcast and is asking what the sip count is. And I remember you saying, Sebastian, that you'd keep count. So where are we at?
I think we are at 7 or 8 because my ability to keep count is not great.
We'll say 8 because this is a spider broadcast.
Yeah. Oh, perfect. Okay. I think there's like one that I know I missed in the middle of like a thing that I was saying.
Also, the other way to keep count is that Sebastian and I both started with 2 drinks in this broadcast, and we're both down 1 drink and on to the second.
I'm almost out of both of them.
Oh, you're
It's
drinking
just
it
a
evenly.
little bit.
For
Just a
me, I'm
little
done
bit.
with my radioactive spider drink. Cheers, and then on to my tea.
Yeah,
Which is
I'll
also
pull up
almost done.
a happy face spider so we can see. But let's do one more. Let's do one more spider, like Spider-Man spider.
Yeah, sure.
Let me see if there's one like really good one.
Okay. When you find it, click the 1 button on the image. Okay.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. What will the final spider be? It's hard to
Spider
pick. Sebastian uploaded so many exciting ones.
I really did.
Yeah.
Okay, is this
It's
one
cool
on
to
here?
see all the different styles of the art too.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna throw this on here.
Okay,
So
I'll take the
this
other
is
one
going to be
down.
our last spider for today. This
Yeah.
one is not for some reason labeled in the same way as the others. It's labeled as Oz Experiment Arachnid number 00. So I guess that's some designation of it within the version of the comic that it's from.
Yeah.
But it's got a lot of traits that we can kind of look at. This style of spider, like this color pattern of black and red, I've seen a lot of them that do this, where I think they're going for like the Black Widow colors of like really black spider with this like bright red marking somewhere on it. There were a couple others that had this, but the big difference that I'm noticing here is this is a lot hairier, I guess, up close than like I would say like a Black Widow is, which they're like
Yeah.
really like shiny black.
It
So they don't
definitely
really have
looks
those hair tufts.
it definitely looks like it's going for the Black Widow look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we've got some interesting things happening with the eyes.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Once
it looks like it
again.
has googly eyes for one. Like it has pupils. I can see the pupils. So.
But it's not within reach. I have a book that had a jumping spider on it, and I just glued googly eyes on it. One of my favorite things.
Nice. And then it also has all the legs coming from like the joint, it looks like, between the
Yeah.
cephalothorax and the abdomen, which is kind of funky.
Yeah, this I see this a lot in a lot of them where they like don't know where the legs should go quite exactly. They're not like
That's the biggest problem I think with
Yeah.
spider, like the biggest debacle
Yeah.
when it comes to drawing spiders.
Like they're not in the abdomen, but like I think there's an instinct from like even just maybe like drawing, like I want to give this thing a head, like a distinct head. And so they draw the head, they draw the abdomen, and it's like, all right, just like kind of somewhere vaguely behind and around like their abdomen. I don't know. Like some behind their head, like kind of like tucked behind there, and like this mysterious middle zone.
Yeah, I think
I see that a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I think I mentioned this in another episode, but basically, like, you can't. I don't blame people because it is weird. Spiders basically have legs coming out from where their head is, and
Yeah, it's super weird.
it like sounds weird if I like go to draw it and think of it that way. I'm like, how does this work, or how does this happen, or look aesthetically okay, but nature made it work, and it does look totally like usual
looks
and
cool.
meant to be when you see the spiders.
Yeah, I think for me, like, there's no way you would know this unless you looked at a spider up close, right? Like, if you see one at like the normal distance you see it, they're small enough that you're not going to get a chance to really notice where the legs are coming out of.
Uh-huh.
And I think a lot of people, they don't have that opportunity to see a spider up close, except in like a movie or something, right? So like if
Yeah,
there's one mistake
totally.
there, it kind of keeps getting perpetrated or
That's what
perpetuated.
that's why we need more people to have pet tarantulas. To help the world out
Exactly.
a bit and have a pet tarantula to make spiders more accessible to people.
Show them or just get a magnifying lens or something, or a
Yeah,
little clip-on macro lens for your phone and just take a look at them up close. Because they're
totally.
really quite different from what I think, like, especially even when I started studying spiders, I didn't have a good idea of what they looked like, and that's like right up until like I started my PhD, and then I like one of the first things I did was like learn to take photos of them up close, and I was like, oh, okay, that's what a spider looks like. Now I
Yeah.
know.
I think people ought to especially understand the spinnerets and where they are, since that's like that makes the famous silk that spiders
Hmm.
have. And that said, I think that this spider, the way it's oriented, I think we ought to see the spinnerets. Like I think they should come from kind of where we should see where they're coming out from, I think, in the spider, but
Yeah,
we
from
don't.
the like kind of somewhere on the side back of the abdomen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then also uh orb weaver. So like I said, I think it's going after a black widow, and
yeah.
the markings are on the dorsal side, the top
Hmm.
side, rather than the ventral or the abdominal,
Yeah.
the lower side, underside.
That's a
So,
really common thing that
oh yeah.
a lot of the ones that I saw that went for that did the
Uh
same color pattern, because it's the
mhm.
recognizable thing, but the spider is always crawling on a surface,
Yeah.
and
They,
so you
but they
you
want to
can't
show
like
it
show
because
it.
it's
Yeah.
intense and characteristic. So, um, on that note, uh, two things. One, I think that I wonder if that also made me think that the last spider was upside down because it had
Oh,
that
because of
really
the
intense color pattern on
yeah,
the
yeah.
underside. So just to flash that back up on screen for people to
Hmm.
see this right here, I think that also made me think it was upside down or
Yeah,
ventral side that we were seeing.
it's a
And then
similar marking to the like that kind of black widow. So, because some of the different widows, like the black widow's the hourglass, but there are other ones that have like different versions of it.
yeah. And then the other question I had was, are black widows like upside down in their webs? I like don't remember
Yes.
that right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
they hang like that
Okay, so that's how
typically.
people see it too. And people
Mhm.
and I think because of orb weavers, people think, oh, like spiders are right side up in their
Yeah.
webs. But then I think what a lot of the public doesn't realize is that there are spiders that characteristically or distinctly for their group do hang upside down on their webs.
Yeah.
It's not uncommon, I guess, is what I'm trying to say in the spider world.
Yeah. There's even some orb weavers that do that.
Okay.
So if you've seen the orchard orb weaver,
Oh yeah. Hmm.
Leocage venusta, they're like these
Yeah.
beautiful green with like shiny silver. They are an orb weaver, like in a very close family to like the long-jawed orb weavers, which build these huge vertical, like beautifully huge vertical webs. But the orchard orb weavers, which are in my part of the world here in Pittsburgh, like all over, if you go into like a little forest shaded area,
Yeah.
they
You know
always
this?
make a horizontal web and they're always upside down underneath it, which makes them really
Mm,
annoying to photograph because whenever you put them, like if I have the spider and I put it on top of a leaf to like photograph it, it'll just crawl in. Like they really like to have their bottom facing up, and they have like an orange marking there too. So I think it's a similar like this is the part of me that I want to be visible.
uh, yeah, they'll
Um,
quickly change themselves. I was just looking at how, kind of going off of what you said, Sebastian, Pablo was
mhm.
saying, you couldn't pay me to get close enough to a tarantula to look through a magnifying glass. And then David said, Issa's pet tarantula giveaway for education. Maybe we can start that on Sips and Spiders.
Oh my god, yeah! If we get enough funding, if people donate enough that to cover the cost of shipping a tarantula to someone,
Yeah,
I'd be
I mean,
down with getting someone a tarantula.
me too. Yeah. And um yeah, I need to find like Saffron or Cayenne a mate, and then we'd have hundreds of spiders to
Ooh,
give away. All you need to do is cover shipping and handling. So
what species are those two?
Mexican red rump.
I'll let you know what mine is
Okay, yeah.
next time that they molt, because I do
Ooh.
have one that's growing a good size.
I hope it's a boy.
Yeah, hopefully.
Oh, and Sebastian, on that note, if it is a boy,
Hmm.
I'm happy to give you Cayenne to keep the girl
Oh, well, I
if
mean,
you were
that'd be
interested.
adorable.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
especially for when my Fulbright comes around
Hmm.
in January, I'm going to need to find homes or for my spiders and whatnot when I go, which is really sad. But
Oh, that's true.
I'd be happy to give you Cayenne if you're interested. So,
Yeah, if you need a spider long-term or short-term babysitter, I'm happy to. I've got room on the shelf, or I can make some room.
oh, thanks. Yeah,
Yeah,
Cayenne, I'm happy to just straight up give you. If I gave you Saffron, that would be a loan because she's my first spider.
I understand the connection.
Yeah,
But yeah, let's talk about it after.
yeah,
Because there's some logistics involved in getting spider from you to me.
right,
Um,
right.
but that would be, yeah, I'm more than happy to take care of Cayenne or
Thanks.
Cayenne. Saffron is your first. I have
Yeah,
to remember.
yeah.
They're all spice names. That's cute.
That's right. It's a theme
I
that I
need to
have.
I need to come up with like I was trying to be like all like, oh, I'm a well-educated scholar. All my tarantulas will be named after like authors from the country that they're from. And then I ran out of authors from various countries that I knew, and now a lot
Uh-huh.
of them don't have names. And
Oh,
I'm like, I gotta think of something because I
you
can't just
can do
keep
it.
calling them like 31, 42, like
Yeah,
their
get
little
them some
ID number
names.
in my like database.
Also, I found that the friendly folks here on Haps love to name the spiders, and that's kind of how Fluffy the tarantula was named too.
Aw.
So Fluffy broke the trend of spice names, but I did give Fluffy a middle name. That was a spice that I'll probably never ever name any of my other tarantulas, but I also forget what that name was. So I'll have to go back into the archives to
And check.
figure out what that was. But back here, for example, the Brazilian blue, her name,
Hmm.
I think it's a her. I think she's full grown now. I have to
Oh,
check, but
nice.
she is her name's Sage. So
Oh,
something
that's
that was
cute.
bluish, and so
Yeah.
Sage is like kind
Yeah,
of bluish.
nice.
So when we do, hopefully when your spider is hopefully a boy, and then
Hopefully.
hopefully we'll enjoy the company of Cayenne or Saffron
Yeah.
or something like that. The first person we'll have to ship one of the offspring to is Pablo on the
Yes,
Haps team.
Pablo, we will convince you that these animals are really cool. Because when they're little babies, they're tiny little cute things, and you take care of them, and then they get bigger, you're gonna get attached. Trust me.
Yes. They're really cute. Yeah. I'm also going to go back a little bit to say that Pablo had also said, okay, I'm caught up. Question: how do radioactive spiders sustain radioactivity without perishing? Please repeat question.
It's a
Smiley
very
face.
good question.
Cheers to that question. I've actually almost done my tea.
I'm about
Last
out
sip.
of my which is we're right on time to finish up.
Yeah. I do have backup over here too though. So cheers.
Oh wow. Oh, you're very prepared. I
So
only brought
prepared.
2 beverages, and
Oh.
clearly it was not enough.
Next time we just have to have 4 each to cover all the legs of the spider. Tea, water, coconut water, radioactive spider
There,
cocktail, and wine.
to
And
top it off.
yeah. Uh
Um,
yeah.
yeah, I gotta step up my game. I don't know if we have time to do another spider, so maybe we can like leave on Spider-Man spiders for another time if we want to pick up
Yeah,
some more.
let's continue in the future and let's figure out the next date, I guess.
Yeah,
Tentatively at least. I think this might have to be tentative for me because
yeah,
July is a pretty hectic month.
yeah.
So
Are you
maybe we can
traveling?
do yeah, I'm going down to Philly later this week for a
Oh,
couple
cool.
weeks. And then I am planning on coming back up to Michigan on the 13th of
Mm-hmm.
July. So that probably won't work for me, but maybe we can tentatively plan for like the 20th of
The
July if that works for
20th
you.
is open for me right
Oh,
now.
wait, that actually works really well too because our initial plan was the third
Third,
Tuesday of
yeah,
every
we're
month.
back on schedule, folks.
And that's still the
Everything.
third Tuesday of the
Okay,
month,
sweet.
interestingly. So,
All right.
cool. All right.
Putting
So
it
the
in my
next
calendar.
Sips and Spiders will be the 20th of July. And I will add that to the Bugscope schedule on my website. So
Sweet.
you guys can keep tabs. And thanks for bearing with us, those of you who were looking forward to this week's episode last week. And then we ended
Yeah,
up.
to have, all the time with them that I could before they had to go
Right.
back home.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I don't know if we
Yeah.
have. Do we have a theme for next time, or do we just want to play it by ear? This was Spider-Verse Radioactive Spider 1.
Yes. Yeah. Part 1. I'll write that. I started putting chapters for each of the
okay.
episodes on
Yeah.
my website. So I can add that in the description for today's
Sweet.
broadcast.
Well,
and yeah, maybe next time we can do part 2 tentatively,
we can do part
unless
2.
something else comes up.
Yeah. There's a lot of spiders. We can also just go through, do if something else is sure. Actually, I'm sure there will be cool things in the arachnology conference
Yeah.
that we're gonna need to talk about. There's gonna be a lot of really cool
Totally.
spider news dropping within the next week or so.
Oh yeah.
And Issa and I are gonna be totally nerding out on that. And so maybe on the 20th we'll share some of our favorite things we learned.
Yeah, maybe we could do the top. Each of us can give this is maybe a lot for one broadcast, but maybe we could each potentially give the top 8 things that we really stood out to us, or the new things we learned about arachnids/spiders. And if 8's too many, because it's really
We
easy
could do
to talk
4
about things.
each.
Yeah, we could do 4 each, like how we're doing 4 each on the drink side.
Perfect.
No, divide and conquer for the spider 8.
Excellent.
Spider news, yeah, from the arachnology meeting. Thanks, Pablo. Pablo said, great broadcasts. And Craig sends the appreciate word. Thank you, Craig. And thanks for being an active sponsor as well.
Yeah, thank you, everyone.
Yes.
Who's been here and sponsoring.
Yeah, I split the awards with Sebastian to help sponsor our drinks. So now Sebastian gets more coconut water.
It actually does come out to about a coconut water, which is perfect.
Nice. Yeah, part 2 will be a lot of fun, but maybe we can do part 2 down the line. Yeah, we'll see.
Well, you gotta wait for the sequel. It's just like Spider-Verse 2, which is coming out next year, I think.
Woohoo! Oh yeah, David was saying 2022 in October. Yeah. So.
All right, take care, everybody.
Okay. Thanks, everyone. Take care.
It's a lot of fun.
Have a great week, and also come back on Saturday.
At 3 p.m.
Sebastian and I will be live along with the Arachnological Society, and will other people be joining us too, or will it mostly be you and me?
We will see if we get guests. I think it'll be just us for now, but it is open to anyone from the AAS watching this now. If you'd like to join us as a guest, you are more than welcome to. Maybe we can get Catherine Scott to hop in.
Yeah, also Sean McCann almost joined us that one time.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If their internet's up for it, we can see.
Too. Let's give them a little nudge to be like,
okay.
Hey. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. We'll ask them. Hopefully, we'll get a good crowd going.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Have a great evening, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks for
Have
joining
fun
us today. Great chat and cheers and finish sips and radioactive spider, radioactive spider, radioactive spider. Cheers. All right.
That brings us to 11.
Woohoo!